Astrology isn't just about signs and symbols. It's a tool for navigating real life. Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Alisa. I'm your host, Alisa Dixon, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. About 10 days ago, my family and I traveled to Greensboro, North Carolina for the World Ninja League Championship competition that my 9-year-old daughter Lily qualified for. If you've ever seen American Ninja Warrior on TV, you know how the season builds, starting with qualifiers, then moving on to Vegas, where competitors face stages 1 through 4, each round tougher than the last, all leading to that final shot at glory. This world's competition was set up in a similar way. Since last September, Lily, along with hundreds of other athletes, competed in local qualifiers that led to regionals, and those who qualified made it to worlds. There, they had a 3-part skill circuit plus stages 1 through 3, each getting harder and harder, with only the top 60 to 70% of the athletes qualifying each stage to move on to the next one. And yes, while podium placement is a goal, this sport is very much you versus you. It's you versus the course. And everyone cheers for each other. You're rooting for personal bests and cleared obstacles. The entire experience was amazing, and I'll share how Lily did at the end. But first, I want to talk about the astrology I saw in action. Mars energy was strong. Mars is all about competition, the drive to win and succeed. Every athlete was giving it everything they had. Saturn showed up too. This wasn't anyone's first day on a course. You could see the slow and steady effort, the discipline, and the years of practice. That's Saturn. There was Venus. The love for the sport was contagious. And Leo energy was definitely present. The spotlight, the limelight. Many Ninja Warrior pros were there, some even competing, which was incredible to see live. At first, I'll admit I was a little starstruck, but they were so down to earth, chatting with athletes, giving tips, many of them actually coaching along the sidelines during the competition. On the drive home, I started reflecting on the weekend. And I pulled the astrology chart for the event. Yes, just like people have birth charts, events can too. Sometimes I plan ahead and check the chart before an event. But let's be honest, this time I was in full-on mom mode. Packing bags, checking ninja shoes, chalk, jerseys, grabbing my laptop for any work that might come up. I never had a chance to stop and pull the chart beforehand. But once I got home, I looked it up. World's opening ceremonies were at 4 p.m. on June 19th. So I cast a chart for that time in Greensboro, the birth chart of Worlds 2025. And it was so on point. The rising sign, Scorpio. Intensity, passion, depth of feeling, which honestly describes the whole event. This was the culmination of a year's worth of work. Big dreams, big emotions, focus. The moon was in Aries, the sign of the warrior, of competition, of charging ahead, of courage. These ninjas were not afraid of these courses. They were ready to crush them. Mars rules both Aries and Scorpio, so Mars energy was front and center, which makes total sense. Mars being the planet that rules the chart for this event driven by athletic performance and competition. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. And Mars had just moved into Virgo a few days prior. So while Mars always brings action and drive, in Virgo, it also brings precision, focus, strategy, attention to detail. Exactly what you need for a ninja course. Ninja isn't just strength. It's grip, balance, agility, but it's also about mental sharpness, about figuring out the flow from obstacle to obstacle. Mars in Virgo brought that perfect blend, power plus precision. Then there was the Sun in Gemini, social, busy, buzzing energy. This event had 9 courses running at once, athletes everywhere, so many divisions, so many updates flying across group chats, We were constantly bouncing from one area to the next, cheering for all the different athletes from our gym. It was exciting, but also overstimulating. I had to step outside a few times just to clear my head. Very Gemini. And then, partway through the 5-day event, the sun moved into Cancer. Cancer energy is all about nurturing, both yourself and the people around you. And I really started to feel that shift. Of course, I was taking care of my own little athlete, making sure Lily was fueled, rested, and emotionally ready to compete. But it wasn't just about our little family. There was this beautiful wave of care and connection flowing through our whole Ninja Gym family. Parents weren't just cheering for their own kids. We were cheering for everyone's kids. We were taking pictures and videos for each other so each parent could be fully present in the moment without worrying about their phone. There was such a spirit of community, of shared joy, shared nerves, and shared celebration. It was Cancer energy at its best. And one way I nurtured myself was with my daily Astro Dice ritual. Before every one of Lily's runs, I would step aside, take a breath, and roll the dice. I was introduced to astrology dice during a reading years ago. My astrologer at the time used them to clarify messages, and it really resonated with me, so much so that I've folded them into my own practice. During readings, if I need extra insight, I'll ask a question and roll the dice. And in my daily life, it's become a grounding ritual. Every morning, I roll the dice for a message from the universe. Just one clear, symbolic message to set the tone for the day. It's a moment of stillness, of trust. And honestly, it's never wrong. So, of course, I brought my Astro Dice with me to Worlds, and I rolled them each morning before Lily competed. And what came up on those dice? And how did it show up in her runs? Let me tell you, the messages were spot on. Lily competed on 3 different days. Day 1 was the skill circuit. She ran 3 different courses, each designed to test specific skills. That morning, I rolled Venus in Virgo in the 12th house. Venus is love, beauty, pleasure, the feminine. This is Lily doing what she loves. Virgo is analytical, methodical, focused on precision and fine-tuning. And the 12th house, that's the unconscious mind. Quiet preparation, solitude. To me, this dice roll was a message that Lily needed to get her mind right, to go inward, get centered, and move through these courses with care, clarity, and focus. And that's exactly what she did. Day 2 was stage 1, the first of the elimination rounds. And on that morning, I rolled Moon in Sagittarius in the 11th house. The moon is emotion, instincts, and comfort. Sagittarius is fun, adventure, optimism, and bounce back energy. Think Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. That's Sagittarius. And the 11th house is friendships, teams, community. Now here's what's wild. Lily has a Sagittarius moon in her birth chart. So I rolled Lily's own emotional blueprint in the house of team and tribe. When I saw that, I smiled because I knew that whatever happened that day, she would feel good. And she did. She made it through stage 1. And in stage 2, she hit her first Worlds buzzer, completing the course. The joy was electric, not just for her, but for our whole gym family. 3 girls from her team made it to stage 2 in her age group, and all 3 of them hit buzzers, which meant all 3 of them advanced to stage 3. That's the 11th house showing up again, community victory. Day 3 was the big one, stage 3. This course was endurance-based, tough on the body and the mind. That morning, I rolled Mercury in Virgo in the 11th house. Mercury, the planet of the mind. Virgo again, strategy, analysis, doing things with precision. Mercury loves being in Virgo, so this was a very strong mental role. And once again, the 11th house, team support, and group energy. Stage 3 would demand mental strength just as much as physical grit. And as I watched her, I could barely breathe. But that dice roll had already grounded me. I knew where the energy was. I trusted what it told me. Because even though this was her competition, her journey, her growth, her moment, I lived every second of it with her. And those morning dice rolls, they anchored me. They reminded me to trust the moment, to trust her, and to trust the energy that was carrying us through. Lily didn't complete the Stage 3 course, but honestly, only a handful of girls did. And what she accomplished at Worlds was incredible. We were so proud of her. And just as important, she was proud of herself. She pushed her limits, she had an amazing time with her friends, and we all walked away with such a positive experience. And we're already counting down to Worlds next year. And those Astro Dice, this is just one of the ways I bring astrology into my everyday life with my morning dice rolls. Whenever I need a little guidance, I roll the dice and I trust them because honestly, they've never steered me wrong. Now, this time I pulled the chart for Worlds after the fact. But one of the really cool things about astrology is that it can also help you choose the right time for something important. Setting a date for a wedding, a business launch, or scheduling any important event, timing matters. So if you've got something big coming up and you want a little astro guidance to help you choose the best time, book a reading with me and we'll find the date that aligns with you. Thank you so much for listening. And speaking of timing, if you would like to see me doing astrology live on YouTube, mark your calendars for Sunday, July 13th at 1:00 p.m. Eastern. I'll be joining Thomas Miller and Kristen Lawhead on the Fun Astrology Podcast YouTube channel to do a special, free, live webinar on Saturn and Aries. We're collecting charts now from people who are having Saturn returns in Aries, and we're going to read the charts live and talk about the energy. You won't want to miss it. I'll leave the link to the Fun Astrology Podcast YouTube channel in the show notes, so it'll be handy for you when we go live on Sunday the 13th. Thanks again for listening and take care. I'll see you next time.